9 minutes, $195. We tested a Heli-Taxi versus an Uber to the airport. Blade promises travelers a faster way to New York's biggest airports, if you can stomach the trip. On paper, the 16-mile commute between New York City and its biggest airport sounds like a cakewalk. But the reality of getting to John F. Kennedy International Airport is neither short nor sweet. At peak times, a cab from Manhattan can take an hour and cost $70 before surcharges, tip and tolls. With surge pricing, Uber fares can far exceed $100. For under $20, there's the train, which can take anywhere between a half hour and 75 minutes, depending on where you hop on. Or, if you really can't wait, you could take a helicopter. Blade, a New York-based helicopter taxi service, promises to shuttle customers between the city and JFK, or Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey, in 5 minutes. Its base fare for a one-way trip is $195. No switching trains, no hurried cabbies, just smooth sailing over the gridlock below. Blade takes customers to airports and the Hamptons on Long Island by helicopter, and it offers private jet charters in the region and beyond. Blade is also the largest dedicated air transporter of human organs in the United States, said CEO Rob Wiesenthal, who founded the company in 2014. While a $900 jaunt to the Hamptons is exponentially out of my price range, Blade's airport service is less far-fetched. On a recent Sunday, before a late afternoon flight from JFK to DC, my cheapest Uber option from the Upper West Side was $146. For a comparable price, with a first-time rider coupon, I could take back a half hour of my time and pretend to be a character in Succession. To compare experiences, I sent my husband in an Uber while I tried Blade. Like Uber, booking a ride with Blade can be done quickly through its app or website. Unlike Uber, you can't hail an affordable ride around the clock. Wiesenthal wouldn't say how many flights Blade offers per day but said that during the week, you can fly to Newark or Kennedy pretty much 12 hours a day. The standard window for by-the-seat trips versus chartering the entire cabin to JFK generally runs weekdays between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m., and from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays. There are no such flights on Saturdays. Customers can crowdsource flights that aren't on the schedule. After requesting a specific time, Blade will open slots for the public to book. The more people who join in, the less it costs the original requester. Alternatively, you can book the entire aircraft for yourself and up to 7 other guests, starting at $1,875. I booked my seat a couple days in advance, and still had limited options. The best one for my schedule left an hour before my Delta flight boarded and cost $265, which was $70 higher than the advertised base fare. Again, like Uber or commercial airlines, the company practices dynamic pricing. The same trip during the week of Thanksgiving, for example, was $325. With my first-time flyer coupon registering a $50 discount, the total came to $215. Blade operates from 3 heliports across the city. My trip departed from Lounge West, located on the Hudson River near Hudson Yards. It's a portable building like you'd find at a construction site, but it's painted matte black, save a few white Blade logos. A black chain-link fence with privacy netting surrounds the tarmac, protecting the identity of the travelers beyond. Wiesenthal told me that 60% of customers use the airport shuttle for business travel. Leisure travelers account for the rest, not only people who want to get out of Dodge fast, but also tourists who want one last sightseeing adventure. The company recommends arriving at least 15 minutes before takeoff. I got there with 20 to spare to enjoy the perks. A friendly receptionist checked me in, took my luggage and gave me a colored wristband to indicate my flight group. There was no metal detector or TSA staff to flag my liquids. Then I was free to enjoy the 1960s themed lounge. The place felt designed with Instagram in mind. Andy Warhol prints, neon acrylic tables, mushroom lamps. The furniture, like tulip chairs and leather bar stools, looked the part but felt flimsy, more Temu than TWA Hotel. While my husband texted from crawling Brooklyn traffic, I sat at the bar and ordered a glass of complimentary white wine. There was aqua panna water and packaged snacks such as a maple blueberry protein bar and skinny-dipped, dark chocolate-covered almonds. Blade has a reputation for being on time. My chopper mate told me he's taken the airport service 50 times and it had never been late before. But that afternoon we ran 15 minutes behind schedule. Air traffic can cause delays. So can weather. Blade will cancel flights if the weather is deemed unsafe or heavy turbulence is expected and will take you to the airport by car instead. It wasn't clear why we were held up, but the staff apologized for the delay. Soon, a helicopter landed in front of the lounge window and our wristband group was called. We filed into a line by the door, were given instructions on how to board and were escorted to the aircraft. I must have missed dibs on the shotgun seat next to the pilot and was slotted in the main cabin with 2 other flyers. The helicopter took off after a quick safety briefing from the pilot, who was wearing a hoodie, and in seconds we were hovering over the city skyline. Every passenger had their phone out at some point to capture the splendor. It felt surreal and a little nauseating, mostly because I'm prone to motion sickness, but also metaphorically. As we descended, and the skyscrapers gave way to houses, I thought about the people living below. The helicopter was incredibly loud, it had to be annoying to hear us screech past. The luxury is controversial. Non-essential helicopter traffic has been increasing for years, and residents living under the flight paths are filing ever more noise complaints. The New York nonprofit Stop the Chop also cites high carbon emissions among its primary reasons for a push to ban non-essential flights over the region. Taking a helicopter ride is definitely more environmentally damaging than an hour-long Uber ride, Peter DiCarlo, an associate professor of environmental health and engineering at Johns Hopkins University who studies atmospheric air pollution, told me in an email. Blade says it plans to transition to cleaner, quieter electric vertical aircraft once they're available in the coming years. There wasn't much time for my guilt to fester. We were on the ground about 9 minutes, not 5, after liftoff. In addition to the potential for small delays, travelers should factor in that Blade can't drop you off at the curb like a taxi. Once we landed on the JFK chopper tarmac, a Blade attendant wheeled our bags on a luggage trolley through a small lobby and out to a parking lot, where chauffeurs were waiting to drive us to our respective airport terminals. I hopped in an SUV but was told I could have paid to upgrade to a Mercedes Maybach. Depending on airport traffic, the ride can add another 5 to 10 minutes to your ETA. My driver told me that celebrities, like musicians and National Basketball Association players, are fans of Blade. If it wasn't for the noise and environmental concerns, I'd be a fan of Blade, too. Okay, I didn't love being queasy afterward, either. Once the company goes electric and I win the lottery, maybe we'll talk. In the end, my husband got the last laugh. Factoring in the 20 minutes it took me to get to the Blade helipad, my lounge time and the flight, he actually beat me to JFK in his hour-long Uber ride, arriving with enough padding to get some Shake Shack and relax. Thanks for watching. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.